I'm here with Bekah Saltsman, the CEO of Finji, who publishes one of my favorite games, one of my game crushes, Night in the Woods, for those who aren't familiar. Can you tell us a little bit about what Night in the Woods is, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So Night in the Woods, it's a game made basically by three people with, there's a lot of us that sort of orbit the project. It was kickstarted in 2013. It's an adventure game about a cat who has dropped out of college, and she's moved home to her small sort of Rust Belt town called Possum Springs. And she starts hanging out with her friends again, and they've kind of moved on. She's been gone for a little while, but there's something going on in town that's kind of like, it puts you on edge as you play it. A lot of people think it's a kid's game. It's really not a kid's game. Barely squeaked in at a teen rating.
But there's some new things coming, and I was hoping you can tell me a little bit about what we can expect moving forward from this great game.
So yeah, after launch, we sort of had the wish list of things that we wanted to add to Night in the Woods. There's an additional friend quest that's been added in, plus there's new mini games, new sort of like squirrely pathways, and it's actually launching on Wednesday of this week on PlayStation, also PC, Mac, Linux, so pick your poison on whichever storefront, just to have the luxury to be able to like put in the wish list. It's been awesome.
Just to be clear for all of our viewers, no matter what time that you see this, it'll be way after Wednesday, so like you can go buy it right now. I will say that if cats could do half of the things that May does, maybe I would like cats more.
I don't know. I like dogs. I'm a dog person. I have horrible pugs. They're great. Okay, those are barely dogs. So, I mean, okay, I like animals.
At least I'm not going to judge you for it. I prefer that. I prefer pugs over cats any day. But I will say that May is very charming in her own defunct way. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. She's also got a great family. You get to actually meet her mom and dad as you play the game. If you follow a certain pathway, you actually have this really incredible experience talking to your mom in a field, or May's mom in a field.
I would actually like to think that May's mom is kind of like my mom too, and interestingly enough, my mom was actually here earlier.
Here?
Yes, I was walking around outside, and then she calls me, and she was like, "Hey, are you here at the Anaheim Convention Center?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm here too. I'm just getting pizza." And I was like, "Well, this is the weirdest day." So, love you, Mom. There's a dance competition.
Oh, is she upstairs?
Yeah, she's right up there. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
So it's very random. I got to hang out with my mom. But what do you think is the secret sauce of like why these characters feel so real and so natural, even though they're cartoon animals?
So the co-writers on the project are Scott Benson and Bethany Hockenberry, and they're just really good. Like they want to tell stories that take the source material and do right by it. So they took a lot about their backgrounds. They both grew up sort of on the East Coast, like in Jersey and Pennsylvania, and sort of the people that they knew and the people they've come in contact with, and then mixed that up sort of with their own political leanings and their own life experiences in a lot of ways, and sort of like built out this incredible cast of characters that feel real. The first time I interacted with Bee as a character, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this girl's like me in high school. But it doesn't need to be me in high school in the 90s. It could also be like you in high school like last week. Like everyone has sort of been that weird like 16 to 20-year-old middle age of like not being a real adult and not being a real kid. And like that's sort of like a universal truth of just growing up. The game is not a coming of age story. It's more of like you are of age, you have been this age. And Scott and Bethany have sort of taken that like life truth and like made it so it doesn't feel cheesy and chintzy and garbagey. It's been super amazing over the last year to sort of watch people interact with this just weird, beautiful game.
I love that. So we're going to get into some questions that I admit are rather strange, but stick with me and I'll promise we're going to have a lot of fun. So if you weren't stuck here at this booth, what game would you like to play here at PSX?
Ooh, Let's see. I have not been around the show floor much. I really want to watch Iconoclast, which is coming out soon. It's an indie title. It's like around the corner. I want to go see Donut County over in the Annapurna booth. And I have not actually been able to watch Super Meat Boy Forever yet. And like the creators of Super Meat Boy are actually like some of our besties. So like I am dying to actually see it.
We actually interviewed them.
They're awesome.
So yeah, they are so much fun, and I'm glad we get to see this community of cool developers grow. So what comedian do you think is really funny?
Oh, you got to be kidding. I have to have hobbies? I'm a game developer. I mean, my favorite comedian is actually somebody nobody knows. His name is Brent Sullivan, but he's only opened for Conan like once. But I didn't grow up with him. He grew up with my husband. So like I know him really well, so he's my favorite. But partly because I know his work.
And now we're getting into the holiday season, starting to think about gifts and all of that stuff. So of all the gifts you've ever received, what is your most cherished?
I got a book last year that my husband solicited sort of letters from people that I respect sort of in the industry, friends that I've had for a long time, family members, like my sister, who's my best friend. And he collected all of these sort of stories and letters into a book that he had printed with images of like me and my kids. My husband had to like spend time soliciting and like talking to people and then putting it together and then like picking out like how it was going to be printed. Like it was just so thoughtful. Like he was thinking more of like my emotional needs than just like, let's make Bekah pretty. Which, I mean, I like sparkly stuff for sure, but it's really nice. Like I have this little book of like all of the people I admire and respect the most and like kind of what they think of me. And it's like, oh, hey, I don't suck. Like there are people that I love that like think I'm kind of great. And it was so thoughtful and so unexpected that, yeah, I keep it actually on my bedside table.
That's actually extremely sweet. I'm like tearing up. But so if you could freeze time, what's the first thing you would do?
Oh, if I could freeze. Okay. One, I would go eat something delicious far, far, far from this convention center. Two, I would go home and play in the snow. It just snowed for the first time in Michigan. So like my boys, I keep getting pictures. They're like sledding downhill right now. And I'm like, I'm missing it. I want to make a snowman. I actually have snow pants this year and everything. So I wouldn't even be too cold. So yeah, freeze time. I would one, eat probably Korean barbecue someplace. Two, I'd go play in the snow. And then, yeah, I'd come back and finish the show up.
What image do you use as your smartphone wallpaper?
Oh, goodness. You're getting, like, all the ones that are probably going to make you tear up. Okay, so I'm a mom. I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and the first photo I ever took of my son that, like, was decent, it's the day I left the hospital. Like, that morning, I took a bunch of photos of him in, like, goofy hats. So I had, like, owl hat, I had a Pikachu hat, I had... my mom-in-law made this like dinosaur hat with like things. So it's my first son, who's now 6, wearing an owl hat in like what are those like little trays that they put babies in? He's in that, and that's been my wallpaper. So it's like it's a day I was a mom.
We are proud mothers, and we're proud of our kids.
So we credit our kids as the gremlins in all of our games. Yeah. Because they don't actually help our game development at all. They just hinder it regularly. They quote unquote help testing. It kind of drives me crazy. Like when people talk about like who are game developers, everyone has a stereotype of game developers, and that's like not the truth at all. Like we're like a super diverse cast of humans, and like yeah, some of us have kids and some of us are moms. There's a lot of dads in the industry that like you wouldn't even expect. Like married and family, and we have houses, and like we're normal people with school loans. I'm a mom, and it's cool. I got crazy kids. They're great.
I love that. You know what? This episode is dedicated to the moms. My mom, you, May's mom. Moms, we love you. Thank you for being a mom.
Oh, you're welcome.
You answered this earlier, but just to remind folks, where can people pick up Night in the Woods, and where can they go to learn more about it?
You can go several places. So nightinthewoods.com is like the official website. You can also go to finji.co to learn sort of about all of our games, plus link to all the Night in the Woods stuff. As far as like where you can buy it right now, PC, Mac, Linux, PS4, Xbox. The third unannounced but strongly hinted at other thing that might actually be out by the time this video comes out.
Well, get it now. As soon as you watch this, I promise you it's available for every platform that's ever been made. So thank you very much.
Not on the Ouya.
except for Ouya. Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun, and thank you for playing Celebrity Miitomo.
Thank you.